when I'm performing, for example, if I'm performing with a, with a decent band, something about that, sometimes it's like I get high. I get high, seriously, yeah, I get high, like my body starts tingling. It's something about the music that just does that to me. What's up? My name is Kafele. I'm a local artist here in Chicago. I play trumpet and I also do production, make tracks and stuff like that. I wanted to play saxophone because my older brother played it, but I didn't want to,
You gotta be different.
Yeah. So I was actually considering playing the clarinet, and my sister was like, clarinet, that's not for you. She was like, you need to play the trumpet. I'm like, what's the trumpet? So, she showed me some stuff, and I thought it was cool too. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot, I really started to become more interested in music around the 7th grade. I picked up an album that my dad had. It was Miles Davis, Kinda Blue, and something about that album just did it to me. It made me look at jazz from a different perspective, than I had been before, and I could really see. I started to understand, how deep the music really was, and, really listen to, what these guys were playing. It's funny because while my dad would play a lot of jazz, my mom, she would play some reggae, my sister would play some R&B, and my brother would play hip hop. So all those genres of music kind of impacted me. I like certain albums from each one of those genres. Specifically, like a lot of Herbie Hancock, I would listen to, the Maiden Voyage and stuff like that. Stevie Wonder, Oliver Nelson, he was I listened to him a lot when I was in high school because his ear, and his approach to playing was just totally, it was different to me than a lot of other artists. Like his approach to improvisation, it's almost like, he almost put me in the mind of like a classical composer, because if you listen to how he constructs his improvisations, and if you look at it, if you step back from it and look at the whole phrase or whatever he was playing, it just goes together so perfectly, almost like Charlie Parker. Like how Charlie Parker, just his ability to create those melodies spontaneously, it's just mind-boggling how he can do that. I'd have to say my favorite trumpet player though was Freddie Hubbard. But to me, it's like music. Like a lot of times, for example, I was talking to my friend about this. It's like it's a difference between a trumpet player and a musician. You know what I'm saying? Trumpet to me, it just happens to be the tool that I use, to get the music out. But the music is it's the music that's in me that I try to get out. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happens that I play the trumpet. You understand what I mean? So in terms of trumpet playing, Freddie Hubbard is my favorite. But even though Miles, his ideas, I like some of Miles' ideas better, but Freddie Hubbard, man, he just killed it to me. I try to penetrate different markets. I don't, for example, I haven't even played at a jazz club here in Chicago. I haven't played at one quote-unquote jazz club. Most of the places I play, I started off doing a lot of poetry readings, and this gig tonight I have is at Sushi Samba. It's like a sushi restaurant. But what I find is that if you penetrate different markets and you expose people to it, they like it, so it's something different. I try to make all my music, it comes from my heart and it's kind of soulful. And I think that people appreciate that part of it. I think they can feel it more than even if they're not avid jazz listeners, it's something about it that I think it touches them, It's a very spiritual experience to me, performing. If the band is good, if we have some sort of chemistry, then something about the music and just that creative process, it just gets me high, literally. It really does, yeah. It's like, you know what? Sometimes I even play stuff that I don't even know how to play. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with me. My pre-production studio. It's actually when I recorded my last album, I pretty much recorded the whole thing in my house. You know, every day I come up with ideas. I mean, sometimes I'm sitting up at work and I'll get an idea for a song, but because I'm at work, you know, I can't really put it down the way I want to. So a lot of times, like you see this paper here on the floor, that's from my job. You know, some songs I started writing while I was at my job. Sometimes what I do is I'll call my phone and hum a little bit and leave a message for myself, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy stuff like that. But when you have access to it, like at your fingertips, like when I wake up in the morning or when I come in, you know, from work, and sometimes I just get inspired. I love the freedom to be able to just sit down and put it down right on the spot, you know what I'm saying? There's sometimes when musicians, they grow too quick for the public, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they took to see it.
Yeah, the people, you know, the audience, they like to hear keep hearing what they are accustomed to that artist putting out, and there's kind of like a conflict there because the artist is growing and the audience isn't sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, I do think to a certain degree, you know, I try to balance things out, but I always try to tend not, I'll never put out something that I don't personally like, you know, to that degree. I may just like, for example, I never thought I would be doing like music like what you just heard, like up-tempo, like danceable type stuff. I never thought I would be doing that. I mean, I just didn't grow up in that environment. I wasn't around that kind of music.
Well, like club music and dance music?
Yeah, I wasn't around that kind of music. Pretty much the best spot I think in the house is the closet, just because it's kind of isolated, and for recording purposes, it's very good to have the sound as isolated as possible. I closed both doors so it's kind of blocked in. And these clothes, even though it looks like a mess in here, these clothes on the floor are actually good because they absorb some of the sound. And when recording, it's good to sort of cancel out all the natural echoes of the room, so you have a pure, clean sound that you can manipulate, you know, once you get it into the computer. So I close in both doors. It's a little red light I cut on for mood purposes, and you know, set the mic up where I'm comfortable and just, you know, get down from there. But also another reason why I chose the closet is because it's so isolated. I have neighbors on both sides, and when I'm in here playing, I'm sure they can't hear me at all. You know? But to be honest with you, man, it's like, I mean, I love to do music so much that I really
I spread myself too thin all the time. Like, yes. But I mean, I think I got to, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, when I want, like, if there's an artist that I hear, like a singer or another instrumentalist, it's like I just feel, if I feel the energy and the connection with them, I want to work with them as much as I can. My problem though is that there's so many of them out there that I'm meeting that I can't be everywhere at once, you know what I'm saying? So I tend to try to do a whole lot of stuff, you know, while I have the time. There's an artist that I'm working with now by the name of John Pierce, and we did like a kind of dance track, and we're probably gonna be working on some stuff because he wants to put out an album too. There's another artist, Moni Rashad. Her album is just about finished, so I'm gonna be helping her put that out too later on this year. Yeah, that's how I feel like I gotta be like that though. Especially after I quit my job, man. I know it's gonna be nuts, for real. Because like even like now, if I happen to take a day off work, it's no comparison. I'm in here like at least like 12 hours working on music. Yeah, I mean if I just wake up in the morning and I have that, I'm inspired. I don't have to go to work. I'm working all day. I'm serious, really.
Okay, so let's check this out. People know you're working on an album. They work, you're putting in those serious, hardcore working times and stuff. And the phone rings. So someone comes to the door. Or you gotta, do. I mean, you let those. What do you do about interruptions and stuff to keep you focused?
I mean, to a certain degree, I'll take a phone call or something like that. But if I'm really focused, I cut my phone off. And not too many people come over here, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? The artists that I work with, I warn them before they come. I'm like, this is what to expect when you come in here. My place is messy or whatever. But and to be honest with you, I do feel like there's some stuff I want to do with my personal life, but I put it on the back burner for now, just because this music to me is more important than that at this point in my life, just because of where I am right now. I'm trying to get established at a young age so that I can, sit back and do this for the rest of my life, but at the same time be able to have the financial stability to, do the other things that I want to do with my life as well.